Okay, I am going to show you how to make your name or your word in photo letters. So I've already gone out. I'm using pictures that I've already captured, but I've taken and from the internet. You're going to go out and take pictures of things that look like but are not literally, really, actually the letters in the words you want. You only need one letter. If you have two A's, you only take a picture of one A and you're going to duplicate it. Okay, and then you can come in. You're going to create a folder on your desktop. So I'm right-clicking, new folder. I'm going to name it whatever I want. I'm going to click down here. If you click too many times, it opens. If you click not enough times, it's light blue. So I'm going to put Word. I'm going to call it Word. And I already have a file of letters here. So here's my file of letters. Okay, and I've already renamed them. They're black and white. I will go through the process of changing them to a grayscale, even though these are already black and white. Okay, so I'm going to go to Bridge, and I'm going to, here's my first letter. I'm going to open it in Photoshop by clicking twice. Okay, I want to make it, I want these all the same height and width. So I am using the crop tool, and I'm putting in the height and width that I want them right here. Okay, if you don't want to do that, you can go to image size, and you can put in, these have to be 2 inches at the tallest, so height has to be 2 inches, and they're 150 pixels per inch. And you can just let the other direction default to whatever you want it to be. If you unlock this and change it, your picture is going to be distorted, so don't do that. Okay, so here's the second way you can do that. And then to get rid of color, image, adjustments, hue and saturation. You can bring the saturation all the way to the left, and then it'll look black and white, but it's still RGB. And then you're going to export it as a JPEG. So JPEG, don't worry about this because you've already established the size and image size or the crop. And then export. And here you can actually rename it. So this is N. I renamed it one already, so I'm going to say save, and it's going to ask me to replace it. And I'm going to say yes. You will not have renamed it. So you want to do that for all your letters. And once you get that done for all of your letters, so I've got N. So I'm going to take this out for a second, just so you can see how I do this. So I have N-A-M-S-T-E, but I need two A's. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to duplicate this. Now this says 2 copy. It's actually not going to be 2 copy. It's going to be 4 because it's the 4th letter in the word. Now I'm going to select all of these and make a contact sheet. I've got 7 letters. So Photoshop, contact sheet 2. Do not flatten your layers because you want to be able to change the background color. Okay, so my width is going to be 1 inch wider than the number of letters I have. I have 7 letters, so my width is going to be 8. My height is going to be 1 inch higher than the height of my letters, which is 3. Everybody's going to use 3 for the height, and everybody's going to use 200 for the resolution. Columns is going to equal the number of, no, rows is going to equal the number of letters I have. No, columns is going to equal, yeah, columns is going to equal the number of letters I have, and rows is going to equal 1. We do not want to flatten this. I'm going to go ahead and make this. We don't want to use file names because we don't want that to appear on there. I'm going to say OK. And we're going to get rid of this so you can see it. So there it is. I forgot to put one more than the number of letters I have. So we're going to go back here and do this again. Tools, Photoshop, contact sheet 2. Okay, so 8 is good for the width. 3 is good for the height. So I do have this okay. So I did it okay. All right, so we're going to cancel out of here. All right, so I've got this. Now I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. I'm going to call it, for me, it's Word, so I'm going to put Word. I'm going to save it on my computer. On my computer, I'm going to put it in the folder with the letters. So here's the photo letters. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file with all the layers first. Okay, and I personally want this a little bit wider than it is. So I'm going to go to Image, Canvas size, because I want white all around. I'm going to change this to inches. So right now this is 8 by 3. I'm going to change it to 8 by 4. I want the name in the center and I want the background to be white. So I'm going to say okay. Oops, I did that the wrong way. Okay, so let's do that again. Inches. So width needs to be 9. And that's going to be in the center and that's going to be white. And that's more what I want. I'm going to save it again just to be on the safe side. Now, if I want to add a black decorative border, I'm going to go to Shapes, pick the rectangle. I do not want to fill it with any color, so I'm going to use the box with the red line. I want the stroke on the outside to be black. This determines how wide it's going to be. I probably don't want it that wide, but you can change the width of it later if you want. Okay, and then I am going to come over here and I am going to start out here. I'm going to freehand this. And hit the move tool. Now I've got a decorative black border around it. I'm going to save it again, and then I'm going to export it or save as, because we can do that with a PDF, on my computer. I'm going to call it a Photoshop PDF, Word in photo letters, then this okay, save, yes. And I'm going to open this to make sure it's in here, and it's right. That's the PSD, which I have open already. So let's see, here's the PDF I'm turning in. And there it is, ready to turn in. It's a super cool assignment. And again, you can make some money off of this if you want to do that. And it's just